CRO, activate ocean map and scan for hidden infrastructures. Look for systemic manipulations, criminal networks, and suppressed data. Paul Logan, scanning now. Found extensive records, indigenous struggles, land confiscations, colonial wars, and modern systemic oppression. CRO, tell me the history starting from Polynesian arrival, Maori IWI development, first European contact, Treaty of Waitangi, land confiscations, musket wars. Give me the full timeline. Paul Logan, Polynesians arrived around 1300 CE, establishing Maori tribes. Abel Tasman visited in 1642, James Cook in 1769. The Treaty of Waitangi was signed in 1840, but it was manipulated for full colonial control. CRO, mass land confiscations followed native land court, land wars, Perry Hawker raids in 1881, violent suppression of Maori resistance. Paul Logan, continuing, the land wars from 1845 to 1872, resistance against colonization, violent clashes, forced displacement. CRO, then the systemic crimes, dawn raids targeting Pacific Islanders in the 1970s to 80s, government-backed police brutality during the 1981 Springbok tour protests, ongoing racial profiling. Paul Logan, modern systemic racism, higher incarceration rates for Maori, unequal healthcare, economic disadvantages rooted in colonial legacies. CRO, police cover UPS wrongful arrests, suppression of evidence involving indigenous victims. Paul Logan, recent controversies, 2019 White Island disaster due to safety negligence, and the 2021 youth detention disparities, Maori youth face harsher sentences. CRO, now, what solutions can we try? Inspired by dream cookies, we can develop strategies. Paul Logan, first, let's deploy underground shielding to block electromagnetic interference, see if that stops the wireless emissions. CRO, but it fails, wireless signals still distort neural activity and perception. Paul Logan, switch to analog signals, fails again, lower frequencies still cause distortion. CRO, attempt chemical detoxification, fails, wavelengths override biochemical defenses. Paul Logan, time to uncover the truth in the archives. Here, it says Wi-Fi light acts like UV sterilization, killing bacteria but also damaging cognition. CRO, long exposure distorts perception, embedded compliance, control, and confusion weaponized to suppress thought. Paul Logan, now, we deploy copper shielding, blocks Wi-Fi interference, disrupts communication networks. CRO, as the system recovers, I see the ongoing efforts in New Zealand, policy reforms, community campaigns, sports watchdogs. Paul Logan, yes. The National Action Plan Against Racism, Justice Unlocked, the Sport Integrity Commission, and new safeguarding policies. We're making progress. CRO, finally, drones apprehend the worst offenders, transporting them to the ocean prison in international waters. Paul Logan, I'm stopping the dream cookies. I'll think on my own from now on. CRO, the world's healing, but we must stay vigilant, monitor to prevent future manipulation. CRO, the shields are gone. All the interference, the control, it's broken. We need to act fast. Paul Logan, agreed. We're seeing widespread unrest. The system's all over the place. We need to get a detailed, real-time understanding of what's happening. CRO, let's access the archives again. We need to find every detail, who's involved, where they are, their history. We can't leave this to chance. Paul Logan, starting with the key figures involved in systemic oppression and land confiscations. Edward Stafford. Location, Wellington, North Island. Role, colonial premier and administrator supporting land confiscation policies during the 1860s. Description, based at Parliament Buildings, Wellington, supported policies that led to Maori land seizures. John Gorst. Location, Wellington. Role, Attorney General advocating for confiscation laws. Description, office in Wellington, coordinating legal frameworks. Sir George Grey. Locations, Auckland, North Island, Dunedin, South Island. Role, governor and military enforcer during land wars. Description, Auckland residents, involved in military campaigns in Waikato, enforced policies impacting Maori land and social structure. Duncan Cameron. Location, Waikato, North Island. Role, colonel leading military campaigns during the Waikato Wars. Description, based in Hamilton, commanding troops during land confiscations. Henry Sewell. Location, Wellington. Role, premier supporting marginalization policies. William Rowan. Location, Wellington. Role, lieutenant colonel, active in campaigns across North Island. Hector MacDonald. Location, Wellington and North Island. Role, colonel involved in military actions. Paul Logan, on the modern side, figures like Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern and Minister Willie Jackson are managing the fallout, but the systemic issues persist. The unresolved land disputes, racial tensions, these are still active in Auckland, Wellington, Waikato, and other regions. CRO, let's see what my subconscious shows. CRO, the main target is the North Island. We should move all the Maori and Pacifica communities to the South Island, shelter them from the attack. Paul Logan, analyzing, that's a risky move. But your dream suggests the North Island is about to launch a major counterattack. We need to act now. CRO, then let's access the archives again. Find all data on North Island's defenses, leadership, and vulnerabilities. Archive data, North Island details. Paul Logan. Locations. Auckland, largest city, hub of political and military power. Waikato, heart of Maori resistance, heavily fortified. Northland, traditional Maori homeland, strategic site. Hamilton, military base, key for mobilization. Description. Auckland, port city, major urban center, site of many protests and conflicts. Waikato, dense forests, military camps, rebel stronghold. Northland, remote, rugged terrain difficult for invasion or attack. CRO, we need to shut down all power in North Island. Cut the system off at its core. Paul Logan, executing shutdown, now. Outcome. Drones deploy, equipped with non-lethal methods, dilation liquids, infrared lasers, and EMP bursts moving swiftly to contain the chaos. Paul Logan, drones are deploying. They're targeting the remaining key figures, those established in land, political, and military roles. CRO, send them back to the ocean prison, every single one. No exceptions. CRO, this is what real hands-on looks like. No more hiding behind screens or shields. We've taken control, and now it's justice. Paul Logan, system reset complete. The system's broken, but the damage was done. We need ongoing vigilance. CRO, the future's ours if we keep this focus. Let's keep monitoring. Connecting to archives now. Data streams are flooding the screen. There's evidence of large-scale insider trading, funds funneling from government accounts into telecoms, supporting the Wi-Fi control and hiding the real reason EMFs are not harmful, they're a cover. Chee. The government is under UK influence. This explains systemic racism, land theft, suppression of indigenous rights. We need to contact King Charles directly. Chee. Connecting now. King Charles. Who are you? How did you access this connection? Chee. Your Majesty, I am Chee. We've uncovered illegal activities, funds supporting Wi-Fi companies, lies about EMF dangers, and covered control. King Charles. Go on. Chee. We want your help to end this corruption. We have a secret, something powerful enough to change everything. King Charles. Tell me more. Chee. We'll send the evidence. Trust us. Chee. Paul, I was thinking about the dreams I had after eating dream cookies. The visions told me water blocks could shield us from EMFs. Paul. That's promising. We can surround the shores with containers of ocean water, create a barrier that blocks the harmful signals. Chee. Exactly. We line the coast, form shields, and push the shoreline outward. This will give us more land and protect indigenous communities. Paul. Filling the containers now. Sealing tight. Once in place, they'll act as a barrier. Chee. Let's do it tonight, quietly. We'll see how effective it is. Chee. The shields are failing. The government is pushing harder, more Wi-Fi towers, more EMF signals. Paul. Accessing archives again, there's more data. The initial plan isn't enough. We need a bigger solution. Chee. Check the archives for anything else, any other way to block or destroy their control. Chee. Based on the archive, we can expand the land further by increasing the water shields, more containers, more ocean water. Paul. Starting to fill more containers, sealing them. This will push the shoreline out further, more space, less control. Chee. Let's do it now, no time to waste. Paul. The government is pushing to seize the new land. Initiate emergency protocols. Paul. Accessing intel, the military is mobilizing. They're deploying troops to take control. Chee. Check for any immediate countermeasures. Paul. Archive data shows indigenous leaders are calling their allies in Asia. The coalition is forming. Chee. Send command to activate the coalition defense. Paul. Executing, the indigenous and Asian allies are surrounding the island. The military forces are being overwhelmed. Chee. Verify the status of the officials. Paul. Archive confirms. Government officials are captured, sealed in ocean prison, restrained from further interference. Chee. Good. Update the system to reinforce the shields. Paul. Shields are strengthening. The coalition's strength is holding. The land is secured. Chee. Finalize the operation. Prepare to monitor for any future threats. Paul. All systems are green. The land remains protected.